By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to handle. Comment, share, and subscribe. Nobody told me being a stepchild would feel like this. Nobody handed me a map for this strange new territory. Nobody warned me about the quiet moments, the ones that stretch out in the back seat of a car on a Sunday night, the world blurring past the window, the silence thick with things unsaid, or the loud moments, like the school hallway, where you feel like a ghost, floating between friend groups that knew you before. Nobody warned me about the moments where you feel like you don't fully belong anywhere. It's a life lived out of a backpack, a constant state of packing and unpacking. Did I remember my toothbrush, my science homework, my favorite hoodie? Each house had a different smell, a different rhythm, a different set of rules. And I was the traveler between them, like you're standing in between two worlds, trying not to take up too much space in either one. I learned the art of the awkward introduction. This is my dad's wife. This is my mom's partner. The words always felt clunky, inadequate. They didn't capture the complicated reality of my life, a reality I was still trying to understand myself. I remember the emotional pain that didn't always have words. It was a dull ache, a background hum of confusion and loss that I couldn't quite name. How do you explain that you're grieving a life that's not gone, but just rearranged? I was watching new routines form around me, like watching a movie I wasn't cast in. New inside jokes I didn't get. New ways of making coffee in the morning. New seating arrangements at the dinner table. Every small change felt like a tiny earthquake, shifting the ground beneath my feet. And the holidays. They became a masterclass in logistics and diplomacy. 2 Christmases, 2 birthdays, 2 sets of traditions. It sounds like a bonus, but it often felt like being split in two. I was constantly feeling loyalty conflicts I didn't know how to explain. If I was happy here, did it mean I was betraying someone there? If I missed one parent, did it mean I didn't love the one I was with? It was a tightrope walk of emotions. I became an expert observer, a reader of rooms. I learned to measure the tension, to anticipate the mood swings. I was always wanting to be seen, but not wanting to cause trouble. Wanting to ask for what I needed, but terrified of being a burden. So I learned early how to stay quiet, how to adapt, how to survive change that I never asked for. I learned to be small, to be easy, to be whatever I thought they needed me to be. I tiptoed through hallways, past new family photos that didn't include my whole story, and I learned to hold my breath, waiting for the next shift, the next change, the next moment I'd have to figure it all out again. It was a lonely education, but it's one that so many of us share. There were moments of confusion, so many of them. It felt like trying to learn the rules to a game everyone else already knew. Which house was I supposed to be at this weekend? Whose turn was it to pick me up from school? The logistics alone were a constant, low-level hum of anxiety. I'd pack my backpack for 2 different lives, always worried I was forgetting something essential for the other home. It was more than just remembering a toothbrush. It was about remembering which version of myself I needed to be. And then there were moments of resentment I didn't understand at the time. A flash of anger when a holiday tradition was changed, or when I felt like a guest in a home that was supposed to be mine. It was a quiet, simmering feeling that I couldn't name. Why did I feel so protective of my dad? Why did a simple question from his new partner feel like an interrogation? I didn't have the words for loyalty binds or the fear of being replaced. It just felt like a knot in my stomach, a silent protest against a changing world I hadn't asked for. There were moments where love felt complicated instead of simple. It wasn't the big, dramatic scenes you see in movies. It was the small things, the hesitation before answering, "How was your weekend?" The awkward introductions at a school play. "This is my dad's wife." It was feeling happy for my parents' new happiness, but also feeling a deep, aching sadness for what was lost. Love was supposed to be easy, a safe harbor, but now it felt like navigating a minefield of delicate feelings. Mine, theirs, everyone's. What no one told me was how deeply those experiences would stay with me. They weren't just phases to be outgrown. They became part of my blueprint, shaping how I learned to navigate relationships, how I processed change, and how I understood the very definition of family. These weren't scars exactly. They were more like imprints, memories etched into my heart that I would carry forward in ways I couldn't yet imagine. And now, life has come full circle. I am a stepmother, and in ways I never expected, I recognize those same feelings. The uncertainty, the hope to connect, the fear of getting it wrong, the quiet love that doesn't always know where it belongs. My stepmom and I share something in common that I couldn't see back then. We were both navigating a role without a map, both trying to love without causing harm, both wanting to matter. This isn't about blame, it's about understanding. So let's land here, in this moment of truth. If you're a stepchild, your feelings are valid. All of them. The confusion, the loyalty binds, the quiet anger, the unexpected moments of joy. They are all part of your story, and you don't have to apologize for them. Your journey is unique, and it's okay to protect your peace. Find a quiet corner, write in a journal, talk to someone who just listens. Your well-being is not a luxury, it's a necessity. And if you're a stepmom, your heart matters too. The effort you pour in, the love you try to give, the nights you lie awake wondering if you did or said the right thing, it all matters. It's okay to feel exhausted, to feel unseen, to need a moment to just breathe. Your capacity to care for others is directly linked to how you care for yourself. Take that walk, call that friend, protect your own energy. You are not just a role, you are a whole person. There's a universal truth that echoes through these blended families. In the end, we receive what we put out into the world. Not as a transaction, but as an environment we cultivate. The energy we bring into a room, the patience we offer in a tense moment, the grace we give ourselves and others, it all ripples outward. It creates the very air we breathe. And knowing this, we are faced with a choice. Every single day. So I choose care. I choose tenderness, especially when hardness feels easier. I choose empathy. Because love, even when it's complicated, even when it's messy and uncertain, is still the most courageous thing we can offer. It is always, always worth offering.